Hello, I'm back with another scripting video, and today I'm going to be running you guys through instancing. Now, instancing is instancing.new. Well, it's just adding something to your game, pretty much. So, first of all, you'll notice what I have in the background here. Now, this script here is... If you've ever played a lag test game, this would be the script behind it. Except the only thing, it wouldn't have math.random, which just changes when the script runs, pretty much. So first of all, don't worry about writing all this down. I'm not going to be doing that. This is just an example. So first of all, I'm just going to say what I wrote here was local function, new part. So I was just writing function. I was starting a new function. I was naming my function so I could call it later down here. And then I put a while true do, which is just an endless loop. And now if you watch my other scripting video, you'll know that you always put a wait. Doesn't matter how long. I always just put a 0.1. So it's running before you've even loaded into the game. And then I've just put local MyPart, or could be just the part. You can name it whatever you want, but I've just named it MyPart for the sake of the video. So now I've just put local MyPart, which is I'm just naming it so I can referencing like we did last time, down here, and change its properties. And properties is what we learned about in the last video. And then this here, right here, is the whole point of the video. So this is instance.new. Now this is just going to add something into your game, so you'd probably want to write game, and then whatever it is you're putting into your game. So after that, I've referenced what I want to put in my game, a part. I'll go home. Yeah. See, if I wasn't in scripting mode, see this part here? You can click this, and it injects a part into your game. But if you want to do this via a script, this is way better, and it's way more controllable. So once I've told the game what I want in my game, the part. Now I've told the game what I want to do with my part. So I want to take my part. It's referencing up here, my part, local my part. So it's this part that's put into the game over here. And now it's going to change .Transparency. We learned about, if you watched the last video all the way through, which you should have, because it's stellar videos, you will know what these here mean. These are just properties that I'm changing about the part. And so now what I'd want to do is I'd just go maybe MyPart.Transparency equals 0 and MyPart.Anchored equals false. And then I wrote MyPart.Parent, so part.parent. So now I'm telling the game where I want my part to go. Because if I was to just write this, the game would wonder, it would get what I'm saying, but it would wonder, where do you want the part? Like, bruh, where is this part going? Is it going in lighting? Is it going in terrain? Is it going in camera? Is it going in server script? No. You want to make sure you write down the bottom, so you just go MyPart.Parent, nice and easy. MyPart.Parent. And just make sure that's in line. It's better to have that in line. And then just equals. And then you want to write game. Always write game for this. Dot. And then this part here, it will insert the part into wherever you want it. So for now I wrote workspace, which is this up here, referencing again, just like at my other video. And then I've got, let's say I wanted to put it in server storage. Now this would inject a part into my server storage continuously, because this is just a loop, an example script. Please do not go copy this down. I'm going to explain how you would write a basic version of this later. So once you've done that, I'm just going to put it back to workspace. And then once I've done that, the Roblox is automatically created to answer me. Don't worry about those. And then I've just put wait. Everyone knows, well, as you should know, about the wait command if you watch my other video. And then I just put math.random, which is something I'll get into in another video. And then just the time. And I'm going to make it between 1 and 20, just for the sake of the video, so I don't have to wait for ages. And then, all I've done down here, for you guys who like local functions, I like to put all my code in local functions, or functions, just to keep it more organized. So I've got my local function, I've named it. Always name your function. So now all I have to do down here is reference my function. So I just have to name the function. Oop. New part. So as soon as I write new part down here with the brackets, telling the script that I want to run this function after the game has waited the random amount of time I have written in here. Okay. So I just close that up. And now what's going to happen is when I join in, is that when I play the game, it's going to wait a random amount of time between 1 and 20 seconds. There we go. It waited about 4 seconds. And now what I've done is I've just made a lag test game. So if you were looking to make a very, very basic version of a lag test game, the script will be in the description, but I still suggest you watch through the video just to make sure you get your head around it. So now this is infinitely creating parts, because what's happened is the script's gone, okay, so he's made a function. Okay, so he's made an endless loop. See? Endless. It's happening endlessly. And he said, wait, 0.1, that happened when I joined in the game. He said, local MyPart, so now he's just created a variable. And then he put in Instance.new, which is what we're learning about in this part, in this video. Instance.new, it's adding a new part to the game. Now I'm going to start lagging here in a second. There's about 1,000 parts now. Oh god. Okay, so it's adding new parts. And now I've changed the properties, which we learned about in the last video again. Transparency equals 0, which means they're not transparent at all. MyPart.Parent equals game.Workspace. Yep, it's going in Workspace, because this is what you can see when you join the game, everything inside Workspace, and now it's just creating more and more parts. There's so many parts in here now. And eventually this game's going to lag and crash. And then, of course, like I said, at the start, the game waited between 1 and 20 seconds to start the script. And then after that, it worked because it waited that time. And then it saw after this, it wants to run this function. It wants to run this code up here. So I'm going to stop that now because I'm going to crash while recording. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the most basic version of what I've done here. So you'd probably want to just go MyPart, local. Depends what we want to name it. MyPart equals Instance.new. So we've told the script that we've made a new variable, local MyPart, which is inside a script, inside of server script service, right here. And I've named it new part. Don't worry about naming it, I just named it for the sake of the video. So once you've done that, do instance.new, and then, but the problem is, the game is going to wonder, sorry, I forgot the part. I've got an instance.new, but I didn't tell the script what I want to put in the game. So I've just put it here in parentheses and brackets, or brackets or parentheses, and speech marks. Make sure it's in speech marks because it's a string. Okay? And now once you've done that, instance.new part, so it's telling the game that I want to have a new part in the game up here, a block, a brick, whatever you want to call them. So once I've done that, so now the game's going to wonder, what do you want me to change about this? Or if you want to change anything at all, or you can just leave it a plain part, which is its default setting. So just leave it as a plain part, I guess, if you want, or do... So we've just referenced the part that the game's just created over here, and we want to do my part dot maybe dot transparency equals 0.5. So now it's going to be half translucent. And I can, let's say I also want to change my part from being anchored. Now, you will understand this code here if you watch my previous video. I'm sorry for the quality of my previous scripting video on properties, and that it wasn't zoomed in, but if you focus hard enough, you'll see it. My apologies, otherwise. So now the game's gonna wonder, okay, so he's made a new part, he's changed stuff about the part, where the hell does he want this part? How many of these parts does he want? Now, if I was going to make a lag test game, I would put while true do, which is a loop which we learnt about in the previous video. And now, once that's happened, yep, so we've created a new part. So now this is going to run endlessly, and we want to chuck in our weight, 0.1. And then let's say every 1 second, every 1 second we wanted to generate a new part. So we want to tell the script where we want the parent, what we want the parent to be. And we used to write part and then never mind. I'll explain that in another video. That's quite complicated. So now we want to tell the script where we want to put this. So now we want to find out that it's in Workspace. So we want to reference Workspace, just like we did last time, referencing. So we want to go my part. So we've referenced my part, which is what we've created up here. And now we've just gone dot parent. Now, if you know a little bit about scripting, you'll know what the parent is. The parent is the parent, well, it means mother or father, to the part. What it's going to be under. What it's owned by, pretty much. Its owner. So the parent is our workspace. We want it to go in Workspace. So we're going to insert it into Workspace. Oh, sorry. Game.Workspace. And now, what's going to happen is this part here is going to generate, it's going to change its properties, and it's going to wait 1 second, and every 1 second, it's going to realize it needs to put a part in the game, and the parent of the part, where it needs to go, is game.Workspace. So now, that should, don't quote me on that, should run. Let's see, the part should have appeared. There we go. Here we are. The parts, let's see, it's changing stuff about the part, so it's waiting every 1 second. So it's on a continuous loop forever. And it's waiting 0.1, which 0.1 was when I joined in the game. That only happens one time. Local MyPart, which is the new variable, and the Instance.new. It's creating new parts, like I explained before. I'm changing my properties, like I explained in the last video, and I'm waiting 1 second, because this is on forever, so every 1 second after it's changed this, it's going to insert the part into Workspace, parent. And see, now it's just going to forever continuously make more parts. Now, if you were to make, say, I don't know, a lag game, then you'd want to just get a GUI about here and just make a turn the lag on GUI right here, and it would connect a function. A local script would connect to a function inside of the workspace. And then it would grab on to the function, and it would realize that once that player clicks that GUI, that this needs to activate, and you'd make a stop button or a pause button or a clear button well, they're very self-explanatory. And yeah, so I think this is going to be about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe to my channel. I just noticed I got my very first dislike on my other videos, so help. Yes, so please like and subscribe. Subscribe. It does really help. If you want that other script from the beginning of the video, then I'll probably just go back and I'll leave this script here in the description if you want. But please don't just go and copy this, because you need to learn how this works. Otherwise, the whole point is just gone to poo. Really. Like, if you just copy this, then you don't learn how this happens, and when you go to try and script a game and you think you can script, and you don't know how to do this, because someone hires you and you say you can script, and they say, okay. And you say you can do this. No one will hire you for doing this, by the way. Not only this. And you say, oh, I can do this, this, and this. And they say, yeah, okay, so do it then. And you go, okay. So you're like, what did he write again? While do... Yeah, see? It doesn't work for you. So, anyway, that will be about it for this video. Like I said, please like, subscribe. It really helps out. And just let me know in the comments, if anyone at all comes across this video, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed how I explained this, if you want me to make more videos like this, because I enjoy making these for you guys, and honestly, it's a really cool skill to have, just a basic studio script, and it can do so much for you when you're making a game. But other than that, see you guys